4, 3, and we're live. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I know that today I am not going live on the normal scheduled time, which is 5 o'clock. As I said yesterday, I'm celebrating my sister's big day. She's graduating today, and so in the afternoon, I will be off to go see her, wear her gown, wear her cap, and receive her certification. And if you know which sister I'm talking about, the only one I have, the same one who said, I should not do a law degree, or I should not pursue a law degree because there are lawyers sitting at home. That one, she's the one graduating with her law degree today. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy for her. So today we're having a lunch and learn. This is not how I planned the opening of today's session to be. Here's how I wanted to start it. Okay. What I'm about to say to you today is going to make you very uncomfortable. It is going to probably go against everything you were taught since childhood. It's going to make you feel some type of way, okay? You might even want to fight me. But here's what I promise you. I promise that what I'm about to share with you today is not going to just blow your mind. It will change your mind and your life. So stick with me. I promise I'm not deceiving you. I'm not leading you astray. I am only enlightening you to something that you probably didn't even think about. And once you start thinking about, you will decide to change your ways and change your life. Okay. I've realized also that I come onto these lives and I don't even introduce myself. I assume that everybody who's watching knows me. I assume that there aren't any new people joining. Please forgive me for that. My name is Mbonane, and I am a Purpose Alignment Strategist. That means I am the expert that professionals turn to when they want to pivot to do it. Okay, let me start off. I don't know what's happening. My name is Mbonane. Woo! This reminds me of the time I went for YoTV auditions. There was a tape that they played on one of the, I think it was, what is the signature show? Live Room. What? I've forgotten what it is, but they ate this clip of me. So I went, I had my audition. And then after that, I was like, can I please start again? And they said, no. And I'm like, no, can I please start again? And they said to me, no, you don't have to start again because you're through to the next round. And so this reminds me of that. Anyway, let's start from scratch. My name is Mbonane, and I am a Purpose Alignment Strategist. That means I am the experts that professionals turn to, ambitious professionals turn to when they want to pivot into fulfilling careers with more impact and more income, simply by aligning their purpose to their profession. I am also the consultant that corporations call upon when they want to address the cost of misaligned careers and corporates, therefore, or resulting in them stopping their talent bleed as well as their profit drain. So I hope it's clear now who I am and what I do. And I'll try to do it all the time because the truth is there are always new people being introduced to me and joining this family and this community. Okay, now let's start with today's session. Okay, I have to admit, I love education, but I'm not so fond of the education system. And I made a note here of some of the things I love about education. What education does is that it helps you interact well with people. It helps you comprehend them and helps you also comprehend the world around you, right? Education broadens your horizons. It improves your perspective. It teaches you how to think for yourself. Education has the potential to change your life, your livelihood, the life of your family. It increases your self-awareness. It helps with mental health. Education is really, really amazing. But what I don't like is the system through which education is being funneled or channeled, right? And here's why. The system of education, and this is across the globe, it makes all of us mainstream. It makes all of us sort of similar and want to follow a similar track. What it also does is that it suppresses right brain thinking. My right hand is this. It suppresses right brain thinking, right? You see that in primary and maybe the beginning years of high school you are doing arts and crafty things, right? But when you get to the higher grades, that sort of thing doesn't happen anymore. So right brain thinking, where your color and your shape and your sound exists, where your intuition dwells or exists, that sort of thing is suppressed. Okay. Another thing I don't like about the education system is that it is a feeder into the capitalistic system or into capitalism, right? Another thing I don't like about education, and this is going to be where we'll dwell for most of our conversation today, is that it creates in each and every one of us an effort justification bias. Now, I'm not going to assume that you know what effort justification bias is, and so I'll define it to you very succinctly and very clearly. Effort justification bias is a cognitive bias that occurs when people tend to attribute greater value or significance to an outcome or experience simply because they invested more effort or faced challenges to attain it. So, simply put, it leads people to believe that if they had to work harder or endure difficulty to achieve something, it must be more valuable or rewarding. I hope you got what that is. I'm going to repeat the last statement again. Efforts justification bias leads people to believe that if they had to work harder or endure difficulty to achieve something, it must be more valuable or rewarding. Here's an example. People who find it very difficult to get their job and even do their job find that job to be rewarding. They believe that job to be rewarding, even if the job in and of itself is not inherently better. So, irrespective of whether the environment is good or the job is good, the fact that you've had to toil and labor to get that job and to even keep the job, you deem it as more valuable. Another example is people who choose difficult courses or degrees in university. They are esteemed to be more valuable contributors to society, or they are deemed to be, they're deemed to be the ones who are worthy of respects, and those that are the ones that are going to be rewarded greatly. And those that choose different courses that aren't so challenging, that aren't so difficult, are looked down upon. And it's because of our efforts justification bias that is, whether we realize it or not, cultivated and created by the education system. Another example, and this is not about professions or education, it's about our personal lives. People who are in challenging relationships often think that this relationship must be really valuable or really rewarding because they've invested significant effort to make it work. Please give me a second. I just need to do something very, very quickly. All right, I'm back. I don't think Oprah was ever this unprofessional. I'm kidding, but I'm back. I heard annoying noises in the background. I heard annoying noise in the background, and I just wanted to cut them out. Okay. So that's another example, right? And here's another even interesting example. So last week, towards the end of last week, I was actually emceeing at an event. And afterward, I think I did a brilliant job. I was congratulated by esteemed guests. The keynote speaker was so impressed with me. He kept making reference to me. In fact, the person I was sitting next to was like, "It's good. This man likes you, and he's a very esteemed human being, right?" And I did really, really well. I also felt that I had fun on stage. I engaged people. It was really, really great. So I go down and I start interacting with people. And one guy comes to me and he says, "Yo, that was so brilliantly done. That was so amazing. You inspired me." And then he tells me how I inspired him and the thoughts that ran through his mind as I was emceeing. Now, I MC very differently. And I pride myself with how I MC, because I'm not just, okay, the next person will be, and I don't just crack jokes. I make it really rich, so that if people forget everything that they learned from the speakers or from the panelists, they always remember what I said. And also, it's a beautiful thing to just make sure that everything flows and everything is tied together. That's just the beauty and genius of being an MC, right? And so I'm done. I speak with this guy and he says, that was so amazingly done. These are the things that went through my mind as you were talking, and I give him some counsel, and it's great. And then he says to me, while we were sitting on the table, someone was remarking on that they can't believe that you left engineering and you left banking only to do the work that you're doing, which is speaking and coaching. They just couldn't believe that someone would do that. They can't believe that you get paid to speak. I chuckled at this. I found it to be so interesting because, again, it speaks back to effort justification bias. The fact that who would pay you to speak? In fact, people who invite speakers will haggle you. They haggle us, right? They want us to drop our rates so much because all you're doing is talking. That can't be so valuable. Yet they want you. Yet they want you to create a vibe and a what do I want to say? A feel, and they want you to impact their audiences, but they don't want to pay you. And that's what happens, right? It's this this cognitive bias or effort justification bias that tells us that because something was hard gained and because something is so difficult, it must be more valuable. All right? Here's why this is problematic. This is problematic because we start then to dishonor the things that come naturally and easy to us. We start dishonoring those things to the point of even being reckless with them. We are so reckless with things that come easy to us. We are so reckless with things that come naturally to us because we also don't see the value in those things. Yesterday, I made an example of the guy who was given the 5 talents. Now, let's talk about the guy who was given the 1 talent. He was given this talent to do with this talent whatever he wishes. The master's expectation was to double because that's just the nature of using up your talent or making use of your talent. You multiply it, right? And what this guy does, he takes this talent, he buries it. The master comes back and he says, I want an account of what you each managed to do with your talent. This guy says, I knew you were masterful, and you are a harsh judge. You reap where you haven't sowed. And the master was so annoyed, so frustrated, and he said, the least you could have done. Listen, so for the 2 who doubled, who multiplied their talents, he was like, well done, good and faithful servant. So that was the most they could have done. They did the most with what they had. And the one who buried their talent, the master said, the least you could have done, the very least you could have done was given this talent to those who would know how to manage it better. He was given a talent to do with this talent as he wished. He was given this 1 talent because that was his capacity. However, he did not value this and he was so reckless with it, he buried it. He didn't even do the bare minimum. And that's what happens to us. We find these talents that come naturally and easy to us, and instead of lending them to those who can do better than, who can steward them and manage them better than us, aka our employers, we bury our talents. And then we wonder why we're not fulfilled. And then we wonder why we're not being impactful. And then we wonder why we're not making maximum amount of money. It's because instead of multiplying and doubling, we looked at these talents and said, this comes so easy to me. It's so natural to me. It can't be that valuable. And we bury it. Usizwe Mzimela says, I love these live sessions, Mpumi. Thank you so much for joining. I try my best. I try my best to apply myself, to think about concepts, to apply them to real life and everyday living. I try my best to really just make sure that everyone is conscientized of the value of operating in your purpose full time, operating in that thing and being unashamed at it, because you are really doing something you love. You are doing it for the people who love what you do, and you're making money you love to live the life you love. It's all about love. Anyway, I want to ask you at this point, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. I don't see this live going over 30 minutes, which is very interesting because I talk a lot, but let's try. I want to ask you these questions. Are you rejecting your purpose because the means through which you've been gifted to operate in it comes too easy to you? Is it possible? Is it possible that you are ignoring the solution that you are because it is way too easy? I mean, you say things like, it can't be that valuable if it's this easy. Mm-mm. Who would pay me for something that I can do in my sleep? Can I tell you a little bit of a secret? I talk in my sleep and I get paid to talk. So we think, who would pay for something that I can do in my sleep, something that comes so easy to me? The same people who pay me for talking, which is something that comes so naturally to me. And I'm saying this jokefully and jovially, but I actually mean it. Is it possible that you are rejecting your purpose? You are rejecting your gifts because you just do not see the value in them because they come too easy to you. Here's the thing. The reason why I started saying that I don't really like the education system, and the reason I don't is because it's developed or created this effort justification bias, is because of this. It's conditioned us to think that things resulting from strife, hardship, heartache, blood, sweat, tears, difficulty, challenges are the only ones that are valuable. And those that are natural or come natural to us, those that come easy to us, something fishy. They can't be that good. That's why people run away from their purpose. They don't see the value in something that comes easy to them. And I wrote an example here. It's like, I was doing my laundry earlier. It's like a washing machine. It is designed, it is conditioned, all the parts are put together for it to be brilliant at washing your clothes. And then it's like, my owners will probably be so underwhelmed if all I do is wash clothes. I can't be that valuable if I just wash clothes as a washing machine. No, let me try and maybe store their juice and their ketchup and their fruits and try to keep those things cold. Or maybe let me try and warm their food for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Does that make sense to anyone? It doesn't. So, does it make sense for you to have certain qualities built in you, certain ways of thinking, certain ways of doing things, certain gifts and skills and talents all packaged in this human being? And you think, why is it that when I do this, it comes so naturally to me? You get an allergic reaction to the things that you are really good at and the things that come easy to you, and you reject that because it can't be that valuable. It's so easy. Who will pay for this? Who will want the service? Those that it is difficult for, because we're not all created the same. Experiences whack us back and forth. We go through things that require us to actually align ourselves or acquire the services or the skills of people who are great at the things we are terrible at, who are great at the things we struggle with. I just want to read Gilebukhile's comments. It says, interesting view regarding things that can be easy and seem invaluable, whereas in business, we're advised to do business in something you like to visit or does require heavy work. This is the thing. This is how I started, right? I said that we were conditioned to think like this, even from the education system, because the education system is a feeder into capitalism, into the capitalistic system. We go through school, and it's designed for us to go through school the way we go through school, so that we can then be primed and ready to apply the same level of thinking, to apply the same cognitive biases to our work. That's why school is so difficult. They make school so difficult. You have to take a test. And they make even the teachers make the test so hard because you have to work hard for this thing. The exams are so difficult. Interview processes are so difficult. Literally, everything has been made so difficult to make us think that the only things that are valuable are the things that come as a result of toil, are things that come in anguish to us. Whereas the inverse is true. The things that are truly valuable, the things that will be truly valuable to others, are the things that come easy to you because you relate to them, because you're more efficient in doing them, because you're more creative as you do them, and because you can just do them excellently. Those are the things that are valuable because it doesn't take all that. And listen, speaking to me comes very easy. It comes naturally. But not everybody speaks like me. Or I don't just come here and say, yo, guys, so yesterday I bought these flowers or I went to the mall. That's not the kind of speaking that I do. I apply myself. Had I not spoken to you today, you probably wouldn't have known about the effort justification bias because I have to do research, because I have to think, I have to ideate topics, right, that relate to the message I want to convey. I have to really dig in and see how it applies and connect the dots and formulate this presentation or the speech in a way that you will understand. So much goes into speaking that I don't even think about. And I realize this because people often say to me, please be my speaking coach. I want to be able to speak as articulately as you. I want to be able to convey my message as well as you do. I want to be confident in the way I speak, the way that you do. I want to be able to really come alive and make audiences come alive just the way that you do it. And I struggle every time because I'm not following a formula. The formula is inbuilt. My mind just takes me to places and I'm just like, oh, this is so good. And even when I speak, some of the things I don't even prepare for, they come on the spot because the formula is inbuilt, because the methodology is inbuilt. I didn't have to take any Toastmasters class or any speaking training to do the work that I do now. I was designed this way. And if I say to myself, no, it's more honorable and more challenging to design products in a bank that are going to be used by corporations, if I thought that was more valuable and more honorable, I would have stayed. And that thing was not my jam. It came at great pains for me because I just didn't connect with it. But when I speak, people's minds get changed. People get influenced, right? People change their course of action, not because they're gullible, not because I am like that voice in their mind that is like forced. No. Not because I'm a tyrant, but because the things I say to them land, because the things I say to them make sense and it makes sense for them to apply it to their lives. And speaking comes naturally to me. So imagine if I rejected what I was good at, if I rejected the purpose that is aligned to what I'm good at, what would happen to all the people who have been my clients, who are currently my clients, to you who's watching this, if I thought this was too good to be true? There's no value in something that comes easy to me. Effort, justification, bias. And that is what I'm trying to break here. I'm trying to break in us the thing that says you have to struggle and endure pain and difficulty only to receive something that's valuable. Not all things that are valuable come at great length. And I'm a girl, right? And whenever you do your hair and it's so painful, they're like, yo, ubuhle buyasetshenzela, meaning you have to strive for beauty. No, that is bad conditioning. I Doing my hair like this today didn't hurt. And I think I still look beautiful. I think I still look good. I didn't have to strive. This is my natural hair. I just sprayed water on this thing. I took an ikusha, a stocking that I cut into a small piece, and I pulled my hair back. And it was easy for me. And I'm getting the result that I want, a natural look. So we've really got to break this bias that says everything that is valuable comes at strife. It is just not true. And here's the message that I want to land with you today. If you forget everything that I've said, if you forget this big word that I just introduced to you, or all these anecdotes and these stories and examples that I gave, Here's one thing I want you to remember for good. Here's the message in my message today. Okay. Your fees are in your ease. Your fees are in your ease. And yes, I love things that sound phonetically great. I love alliteration. I love all those things because I love words, right? I use words every day. But let me tell you something. Your fees are in your ease. And if you're wondering, fees, ease, let me give you definitions. I'm never going to assume that you know everything that I talk about. And not because I'm undermining your intelligence. No, 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 but because I want us to be on the same page. Because I don't want there to be assumptions and things that need clarity. And no, 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 I want us to leave here being on the same page, understanding the same thing. Here's the definition of fees. It is a payment made to a professional or public body in exchange for advice, a service, a product, or in exchange for your time. And ease means causing or involving little difficulty or discomfort within. So, your payment for whatever service, for whatever advice, for your time, for your product, come in the things that do not have difficulty or discomfort within them. And I don't want you to then leave this life thinking, oh, Mpumi said living a life of purpose will be easy. No, I still have to apply myself. I still have to knock on doors. I still have to pitch clients. I still have to do work, some work that I don't like. I hate admin, but I have to do it, but not for long. Someone else who's brilliant at admin will take over and do my admin for me. And I can't look down on that person because they're doing the thing that I hate, because they're doing the thing that I don't like to do, which is admin. I laud them. I celebrate them because they are doing something that comes easy and natural to them. That's the way that I want things to work. That's how we can create efficiency and flow and have better results because people are doing things that make sense for their design. People are doing things that they are created to do. Your fees are in your ease. So the fact that you're running away from your purpose, you are running away from ease. You are running away from your fees. People tend to say, no, purpose doesn't pay the bills. You can't align you can't think that passion will pay for. Guys, I've never said your passion will pay your bills. No, your profession will pay your bills. And even better, a profession that is aligned to your purpose will not just pay the bills, will not just put food on the table, it will be food for your soul. You will be doing work that you love, work that makes you happy, work that fills your heart with fulfillment, work that impacts the world, and work that calls for fees because it's work you are good at. It is work you apply yourself to. It is work you are brilliant at. It is work you are outstanding in. Your fees your fees are in your ease. So the more you run away from your purpose and the things that come easy to you and the things that you're talented in and your gifts and your skills and you don't think there's any value to them, I'm telling you now, you are running away from real value. Real value. Absolutely real value. Please don't despise what you are brilliant at. Don't despise what you are good at because it comes easy to you. That ease, therein that ease is where your fees lie. So stop being used to struggle love and soul crushing jobs and painful experiences. I want us to stop rejecting the things that come easy to us by design. It was, guys, you are made for a purpose on purpose. Do you understand that? When the Bible says you were, what does this verse says? You were fearfully and wonderfully made. I can imagine the one who formed you in your mother's womb. And one could say, oh, just a biological thing. You guys, the construction of a baby in a woman's womb remains a mystery. That things just come together to form skin, to form lungs, to form a heart, to form ears, to form eyes in a womb, in somebody else's womb. Let me tell you something. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. When you do something fearfully, you want to make sure that there is no mistake. You want to make sure that you are doing it so craftfully. You want to make sure that you are doing it with so much diligence and so much precision and so much accuracy that it becomes the best that it can be. When you do something wonderfully, it causes wonder. It is full of wonder. People look at it and they're like, wow. And that's what happens when you operate in things that come naturally to you. I walked off stage last week and people said, wow, because I was operating in the very thing that I was wonderfully and fearfully made to do. So don't ever despise the things you are brilliantly created and designed to do, because you were created for a purpose, on purpose. There was so much intention behind making you. There was so much thought behind making you. There was so much cognitive reasoning in making you. There was so much mastery and craftsmanship and brilliance and attention to detail in making you. So dare don't you dare reject the things that you were designed to do when you are doing them easy or easily and naturally and think that those things are not valuable. I rebuke that spirit. I rebuke that way of thinking. Don't you ever, don't you ever, don't you ever. And so today, if this did anything to you, if this convicted you in any way, I want you to leave in the comment section the word ease. And I will contact you either in your DMs if you are on LinkedIn, or if you're comfortable in the comment section and on YouTube, I'll chat to you in the comment section and I will discuss with you a way that you can transition to ease, because that is the position and the place where you were fearfully and wonderfully made to operate in. So, you're early today. Finance with KRSA. Hey, girl. Listen, today I had to do it at 12 because in the afternoon, in the evening, I'm going somewhere. When I'm dressed in a suit, my sister's graduating, so I needed to make sure that I'm there to celebrate and support her. So yeah, that's why we did a lunch and learn today. And I'm trying to check it out. If people prefer lunch and learns over an afternoon session, then we can do that. Oh, Animal Lover 2400. Thank you. The commenters, I look beautiful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yes, I would love for you to leave the word ease in the comment section so that I can get in touch with you guys. There is there is virtue in enduring things and builds character and stuff, but that was conditioned in us. We had this effort, justification, bias, like conditioned in every one of us to reject the things that come easy and only value the things that come difficult to us. And that is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. And I don't want us to fall into that trap. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. It was very educational, I hope. And it was fun for me because anything that's got to do with the mind, I wanted to be a psychologist, right? Everything that's got to do with the mind and us developing personally and professionally, I geek over those things. I become like a kid in a candy store because I love geeking over those things. So I hope that today was very educational for you. I hope that it blew your mind, but also that it will change your mind to actually want to operate in ease, operate at a level of ease and peace. That does not mean you won't have to work, you won't have to apply yourself, you still have to do those things, but it comes easy, it comes naturally. So leave ease as a comment in the comment section so that I will then speak to you about how I can help you transition into a career of ease, one that you will not look down upon or despise or ignore, but one that you will value because it is valuable, because in and of itself it is valuable, because it makes you happy and brings you joy, because it adds meaning and value to other people's lives, and because it is just the thing that will attract value monetarily and in opportunities and networks and things you can never even imagine. Okay. Finance cases, really enjoyed this. Thank you. It's always my pleasure. Always my pleasure. I love doing this so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. And I see you said congrats to my sister. I really appreciate that on her behalf. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the final show of this week. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think it'll be another one that takes on this shape because I just love blowing people's minds. When my mind is blown by a concept and I think about it and God is like, oh, Mpumi, think about it this way, I get so happy. Let me read. Ukilebogile says 12 is a great time and aha moments while taking lunch. I love that. I love that you're looking at it like that. Thank you so much for making me aware about effort justification bias. Always, always, always a pleasure. If I can use my voice as an activation tool, nothing makes me happier. If I can activate your thinking and I can activate action in you, I've done my job. I've done my job. And if I can continue doing my job of being your coach for the next 3 months, I'd absolutely love to do that. But then again, that is all on you and what you want to do. Otherwise, this has been great. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.